And we are officially unmuted. This is our second time doing this little intro here. It's amazing what hearing us will do.
Especially for
Welcome to
the
the Walk
audio
Off,
side.
everybody. Yeah, that's right, especially on the audio side. We are the Walk Off. I'm Scott Belford, joined as always by Adam Mack. This is the mailbag, something we've been doing at the top of all of our live streams every single Tuesday, where we kind of go over your comments and questions from our podcast. So we go over the YouTube comments. We also take questions and comments from Instagram. That's the Walk Off Podcast, and Twitter at Walk Off Podcast. And we've got a bunch of good ones for you here. So before we get to the live stream, we are going to do the mailbag. If you are watching right now, just hang tight and we'll interact with you in the chat once we kind of get to the live stream. Let's do her, Mr. Mack.
All right, so first comment from Discord, slightly used, has said, Breivik Valera has truly been a godsend for this team at the bottom of the order. If we get a wild card game, is Valera on the roster?
He's on my roster.
I don't see how he's not. I mean, I don't know if he's our
been
starting
incredible.
third baseman. Personally, I would say if Espinal's back and healthy, I would rather go with Espinal, but
I think I'm in the same boat. However, that said, Valeric is so hot right now. I don't know how you leave him off this playoff roster. I think, especially with Biggio and Kevin Smith, kind of the guy with options that can go down, I think that's what we wind up seeing. But we'll see. I mean, a wild card game, fingers crossed, right? We're not there yet.
absolutely, let's not put the horse ahead of the cart. Or cart ahead of the horse, I guess. All right, so Mark from Twitter says, Alek Manoah, Rookie of the Year, needs more push. That performance yesterday was one for the ages.
Yeah, he's nailing it, man. Where are you on this Rookie of the Year? It's about time that he should be getting a little bit more attention, shouldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of been quietly having these chats just between the two of us, basically since kind of the All-Star break, where,
Yeah.
I think we kind of realized,
How many innings he'd pitched was holding him back, but we're kind of at a point now where he's got to start being taken seriously as a Rookie of the Year candidate. In my opinion, I don't think there's any way around it.
well, when you consider that this team is one of the hottest teams in baseball, the starting rotation is one of the hottest rotations in baseball, and he is probably our third best pitcher in that. That's a pretty good argument to be made for at least consideration.
I mean, yesterday was a statement start, in my opinion. I don't know how you feel about it, dude, but I mean, 8 innings, 1 hit. Like, what was it, 10 Ks, no walks? Like, this is a 23-year-old kid in his first major league season
Well,
at
we
crunch
kind of
time against the division leaders. Like, wow.
well, I had kind of predicted a game like that leading into that Yankees series last week. I expected kind of a statement game, and I know he pitched all right. We still got the win for him,
Yeah.
but the bats really helped him out. But yeah, that game Monday night was pretty incredible. Like, this guy, when the chips are on the table, he's just got ice in his veins. Like all the cliches you want to use about a pitcher, and he's been it since our first looks at him.
And that's one of the more impressive things about this young man is that he is 23 years old. And if I just think back to where I was at mentally at 23, my goodness, dude, like to come up that big and be that unshakable. Like, even when he has a bad outing, he comes right back with a good outing, right? And he's not miserable on the bench. He's not throwing his glove around. Like, he's still goofing around. You always see him picking whoever the catcher who's not starting's brain, right? Like,
Right.
he's sitting right next to Reese or Kirky or whoever's on the bench, right? Like, this is a guy who wants to be the guy. And that is an intangible that not everyone has, and Alek Manoah has it.
Absolutely.
I'm glad he's a Blue Jay.
Very bright future ahead of him. Okay, and moving on now to a DM that I got in response to a story on Instagram I had posted about Vladdy and his pursuit of the Triple Crown. Now this, I'm pretty sure came from a Yankees fan. After a quick browse through his profile.
Giving the disclaimer here, this is a Yankees comment, yes.
The comment was, capital letters, who cares? Triple Crown is overrated. Average batting average is an outdated statistical measure. OPS and slugging percentage are way more accurate measures of hitting ability. So,
Okay, Mr. Yankees fan.
so sour grapes coming from the Yankees fans. I just want to bring this one up because
I know where you're going with this. Yeah, absolutely. Give us his slugging and OPS, Adam.
okay, so if OPS and slugging percentage are the more valuable statistical measure, well, guess what? He's first in those two categories as well.
So suck on that.
So suck on that. And if we really want to get into it, here are 7 statistical categories in which Vlad Jr. leads: runs scored, hits, on base percentage, slugging percentage, OPS, home runs, batting average, and he's third in RBIs. He's 5 RBIs away from leading in 8 offensive categories, an octuple crown. That's absurd.
It's
There's
absolutely
no way
absurd.
to dismiss how impressive that is. And meanwhile, he's
Who
done
cares?
this. Meanwhile, he's done this. He's third in the MLB in walks, and he's outside the top 50 in strikeouts.
And another little Vladdy stat here while we're just spewing numbers. This is kind of fun. Vladimir Guerrero Sr., MVP in 2001 and Hall of Famer, career best 44 home runs in 2000. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is at 45 home runs right now with games to play, top in the MLB. Unreal.
Pretty cool. Just between you and me, do you think he has any shot at the MVP, or is that Ohtani's?
No, it's Ohtani's. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I love the man, and Vladdy is doing out of this world stuff. But, and everyone keeps pointing at Ohtani's numbers. His ERA is not that great. It's still like a 3.33 ERA and like in the top 10 at all of pitching in the AL, you know? And he's got 44 home runs. Like, yeah, Vladdy's one. And everyone brings up Ohtani's batting average, like him hitting 260 is some sort of crime against humanity. Like,
still 20 points above league average.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. And you know what? There are questions being asked by people where they're like, well, do we just give Ohtani the MVP every single year if he's doing this every year? Yeah. If he's going to hit 50 home runs and be like a top 10 pitcher every year, unfortunately, everybody better get out of the way. Like,
yeah, no, I know what you're saying there, and that's I mean, it is what it is. I guess I just wish that Ohtani also played a defensive position.
mm-hmm.
I know he's played
or was in the National League.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like he pitches like once a week and then he DHs the other 5 or 6 days. I mean,
50 home runs and a top 10 pitcher. Like,
I know it's nuts. It's just
I'm with you, man.
I'm trying to nitpick in defense of Vladdy's argument
in defense of Vladdy. I mean, he's gonna win second place. He's gonna landslide second place, and then Marcus Semien will get some votes, which is wild.
Isn't it wild? Marcus Semien having a career year. Just behind 2 historically significant years.
2 historic performances. And Marcus Semien's like, hey.
Hey, guys. I'm here, too.
I'm going to take my 40 home runs and 120 RBIs and go home, I guess. Yeah.
All right. Well, we asked this question a couple weeks ago. And I know you didn't think Vladdy would get to 50 a couple weeks ago.
Can I change my answer?
Can you change your answer? This is what I want to say is, regardless of whether he gets the MVP or not, we got to say it's more likely than not at this point that he gets to 50, right?
I think so.
5 home runs in 20 plus games.
He's like the only guys hotter than him in Major League Baseball right now are his teammates. Like, you know, like you look at the numbers that Grishik and Gurriel Jr. are putting up, right? Like Randall Grishik is quietly on a 20-game run that is insane. Like he's hitting 380. Yeah. This team's hot, man. It's exciting stuff.
Is hot. One last question about Vladdy here that I've just got for you. Any consideration of moving him down in the lineup, maybe 1 or 2 spots, just to help him get a couple extra RBIs? Or is that just bad. That's
I
just
think you
messing with
leave.
the baseball gods.
You don't mess with the baseball gods. Leave him where he is. He is killing it in that 3-hole.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
All right. Enough of that. Okay, one more question or comment here about Vladdy here before we move on. This comes from Aw Bono on our YouTube page. So they commented,
Nice.
Vlad has been looking pretty good at first base as of late. Could he see a potential return to third base next season? He has a cannon of an arm, and the only problem would be his fielding. But he has been he has been pretty bad in the past. But with his increased mobility and better technical ability, I think he would be much better at third base next year than in past seasons.
So a few things here to unpack. Okay, to start with, I do agree with him. I do think that he would be better at third than he was in the past. I think that he's done a lot of work to his body and is kind of in that mode mentally where he is thirsting to improve, and I think that only bodes well. That said, Vladdy stays at first. Like, there's no, why are you messing with what works? And on top of it, he's been a picking machine. The guy is, I mean, he might not be a Gold Glove candidate, but he is a top 10 first baseman in this league this year defensively, and that is insane considering the position was the moon to the man last year, right? Like, when they moved him to first base, I was like, how can he be worse at first than he was at third? And now he's legit a plus defender, which is incredible.
Well, maybe
Where
we'll
are
see.
you? Do you want to see him at third next year?
No, God, no.
Okay.
No, I want to see him at first base and DH for the next 25 years.
And I mean, the kid has come out and said that he wants to stay at first, right? Like, he has announced this to the world, and I think he's really excited with how well he has progressed at first base and what a big position it is for all the picks and stuff. And he's such a social dude. He just loves to chat everyone up who goes to first.
Absolutely. No, he's able to affect the game on basically every play. So
exactly.
Let's just keep looking at it that way, right? Okay, so Steve Williams is wondering, wow, I'm wondering if you guys like the format of 7-inning doubleheaders. I'm kind of wishing it was 9. We came very close to losing 3 out of 4 versus Baltimore. If they were 6-inning doubleheaders, we would have gone 1-3 in that series. You can never count this team or their offense out. It is so explosive.
I mean, do I like the 7-inning doubleheaders? I normally prefer 9-inning doubleheaders personally, but I'm a baseball nerd and a bit of a freak. Are there times when it's enjoyable to just watch 14 innings instead of 18? Yes, right? Like, a doubleheader is a pretty big time commitment. Do I think they should go back to 9 innings? Yes. Are they going to? Have they announced they are? Yes. So, I don't know where you land on this. Personally, I think they did what they had to do for COVID. I'm fine with it. It's over now. Well, COVID's not over, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, we've both kind of talked about this quite a bit over the past year, I would say. I'll just say, yeah, you can never count this team out. I think no lead is safe, and I think that applies to offense and defense. I think whether we're down by 6 or up by 6, the game's not over with this team, unfortunately.
If game 2 against the Athletics, the kind of, the game after the game that set this whole streak on its way, they were up what? 8-0? I forget what it ended like 10-8 or something like that. Pardon me, sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, when it comes to the offense of this team, they can explode at any time. I mean, they showed it in that doubleheader, that game 2 doubleheader against the Orioles when they were no hit through 6 innings and then had 11 hits in 1 inning. Like, are you kidding me? And you're right on the other side too, where despite the fact this bullpen being much better than it was only 3 weeks ago, they're not unhittable. That is for sure. So,
all right, well, moving on, Scott. We got a couple more to get through here before opening pitch. Liam Edmonds responding to the Friday news show in which we had mentioned that Vladdy has a chance to do something that hasn't been done in like 65 years. Liam says Miguel Cabrera actually won the Triple Crown in 2012. if you look up past Triple Crown winners. And I just wanted to clarify and defend our integrity and our baseball knowledge by saying that that was an AL only Triple Crown, and Vladdy has a shot at an MLB Triple Crown, which hasn't been done since 1956. Mickey Mantle, one of 5 players to do it in all of baseball history.
Some no-name scrub by the name of Mickey Mantle, the last guy to do that. And Vladdy is right there.
So, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay. York Baller says the Jays are peaking at the right time, and they absolutely are.
York Baller nailing it. This is, I mean, it rhymes, so of course people are going to love it. September to remember, though. Like, holy cow, man. Wow.
15-2 in the last 17 games.
Like, that's not a record that happens. That's not a thing. 15-2. Are you kidding me? They made up 10.5 games on the Yankees.
Yeah.
In 16 games. Again, that's not a thing. Like, that's not something that happens in baseball.
No. Well, we needed it because these next 5 of our next 9 games are against the Rays, and I know we won yesterday, but this is not going to be a pushover of a series. So
no, it is not. But they are hot.
Yeah, we got 2 more against the Rays, 3 against the Twins, and then 3 more against the Rays. So let's keep rolling. Last couple comments here are about our Pat Hentgen interview from this morning.
Yes, which was so awesome. For those of you who
cool.
didn't know, we did get to sit down with Cy Young Award winner, MLB, just all-star, like 2-time all-star, World Series champion.
Yeah.
Toronto Blue Jay great. I mean, I was a little tongue-tied. It was very cool. Anyways, that interview is up on our YouTube right now, and just a great baseball-filled Toronto Blue Jay World Series winning.
You know what I really
nitty-gritty.
You know what I really like, because we've talked to quite a few old-time Blue Jays and ball players at this point. It like set my heart on fire listening to how he was still like a fan of the game and still like watches and follows along. We just talked to so many guys who are like kind of like, you know, Greg's on, crotchety old men who are like, oh, the game is broken now and I can't even watch it anymore. And
Jeff Fry. And I
Shea Hillenbrand.
Great interviews. We love those guys, like friends
Absolutely.
of the show. But yeah, Hankin definitely a positive light.
All right, so Jonathan says, awesome interview. I remember during a live stream several months ago, a question being asked, who should we try to get? And I think Pat Hentgen was my first choice. So thank you guys for getting Pat Hentgen. Another comment here from Scott. Scott Carter. I like that Pat was bringing up how good Juan Guzman was. He was great. One of my faves as a teenage Jays fan.
Yeah, he was
trying
my
to get Juan
pitcher
Guzman
in
on
that
the show.
92-93 spurt too.
Yeah, great pitching on that those early 90s Blue Jays. And Mark Highfield with a bit of a roller coaster of emotion here in this one. I remember going to Dunedin for spring training the year after Hentgen won the Cy Young. I brought my Hentgen jersey and got him to sign it. I was in heaven. Then my mom washed it with bleach.
Whoa.
And the red on the Jays logo bled all over the jersey. Ruined.
Oh, man, Mark.
Oh, man, I know.
That's the story of when Mark started doing his own laundry.
Yeah. And then I learned how to do laundry.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks, everybody, for all those comments, and keep them coming.
Yeah, absolutely. We love how interactive all of you are becoming here, and we really appreciate your input. And please continue to comment or reach out, and we'll get you on the mailbag.